listening to the African Heritage Radio, yes. We're bringing all the good music down to your stereo, yes. The hottest songs from the Gambia is what we gonna play for you, yes. Cause we be giving you the vibe, and we will make you alive. In the musical form, the one that wants for we drop is like a musical storm. Cause we be playing you the music alone, and you can hear it on your phone, and even when you at home, yeah. All day we be giving you the music, reggae, rap, balla, anything, just choose it. It's so Gambian, so please don't refuse it. Cause we play music every day, cause it's not unique. Now from the north to the African, we chant for my heritage, yeah. We come and culture in my tradition, that is my privilege. Bringing non-stop, non-stop. Tune a fire like say it's a gunshot, gunshot. We find the music, tell them say we want that. To make the good vibes a flow, tell them say we run that. Prince Gambia is bringing the sensation to make the music rock around the nation. African heritage a standing ovation. We're blessed by the powers of creation. Now from the north to the African, we chant for my heritage. That is my privilege, yeah. Come from the north to the Africa, stand for my heritage, yeah. But come and culture in my tradition, that is my privilege, yeah. You're listening to the African Heritage Radio, yes. We're bringing all the good music down to your stereo, yes. The hottest song from the Gambia is what we gonna play for you, yes. Cause we be giving you the vibe, and we will make you alive. Gambian Kolo in a musical form, the one that goes where we drop is like a musical song. Cause we be playing you the musical form, and you can hear it on your phone, and even when you are home, yeah. All day we be giving you the music, reggae, rap, balla, anything, just choose it. It's so Gambian, so please don't refuse it. Cause we play music every day, cause it's not music. Now from the north to the African, we chant for my heritage, yeah. We come and culture in my tradition, that is my privilege, yeah. Now from the north to the African, chant for my heritage, yeah. We come and culture in my tradition, that is my privilege, yeah. Vibes we are bringing non-stop, non-stop. Tune a fire like say it's a gunshot, gunshot. We find the music, tell them say we want that. We make the good vibes a flow, tell them say we run that. Prince Gambia is bringing the sensation.
Thank you very much, wonderful listeners out there. Today we're going to take a different approach. You all know when it's come to Mengbe Kering, we begin it with our usual greetings in Mandinka. And then we have a special track to play during that session, which is Bamba Boja. But as you know, tonight I changed the format of the program, and this program is going to be part of Mengbe Kering, but it's called Be My Guest. So my today's guest, this is going to be the maiden edition of this special show, and it's all part of Mengbe Kering. So my special guest in this maiden edition gonna be the mayor, the former mayor of Banjul, Sallah Jeng. We know that Sallah Jeng has been a gentleman, and then for a very long time you haven't heard from him. So this is the reason why, as far as Gambian Kolo Radio and my humble self are concerned. So this is why today we introduce this particular program. We had this program long time in the Gambia, Be My Guest, and the program was designed to invite or accommodate international diplomats in the Gambia, from the U.S. ambassador to the British High Commissioner and the other diplomats in the Gambia, so that they can have their say what they definitely think about our little Gambia as far as development is concerned. But today I have rebranded this program, and then it's part of Mengbe Kering, and it's called Be My Guest. Badi ngol butum bi nte fengo fenkala drong Mengbe Kering nga bari bi mu talata no wonti say mbakala nyami worom nyinde ko mba yelamandela le nyin kamala watini watin ka luntangol sambana andum programme nyin to mba fala Mengbe Kering non de barata be kala be my guest leti dami ya non ko mbukar luntangol sambala nan ne ka kacha andu nyin luntangol te kala dron ko moli mi ya non ko wolle karanta baake walla wolle be palace balto bari be dunna satale kono mol min yalon ko ndesani kamul buka moy ordinary people be wol samala nanne ni ka kacha nyin kamala e finance tata soto Gambia la court wala o kamala don bade mo bi be nyin kala de nimbota woto ning interview banda bayri be kala only 45 minutes lati nasiata so ning interview banda don be min kala wala jinde ko the rest 30 minutes mbe muruna le nga Mengbe Kering sambale na wol kono bi na programme Mengbe Kering abe kala minti wala mo jamale PPP fa ninga lo miye PPP fa wokola le nsinao mari jibe nga fo tonya atele finance APRC fanyeno Gambia andum be nyimbe kala kili wala kono anin korsilol to anin kuwol mi yalon ko be tambita wala o kamara don baadi ngodo mobe dawda dron ngal kirin konton altola anali jamun dawdo ka faale dron afela wato sita wato mi yalon ko nalbe dun na programme kono butum bidun na nyim programme ko mi ngafo nyamin dron wala nyinte ko maybe nyato sinimbe line yalla le bari ahembe only 45 minutes because malafika Mr. Jeng na time uta baki bar jani be futala woto folo alengal la moy singate la injuru di mala wokola nale sina dum wokono wala wokamara don sain mbata ngaji be nga singate sambana bari ala injuro dia batala dia tan tafamay bake so waya sabu butum ko jinde fere tijini fons nse wasambana nga wople wala wokamara don dalta kala nyami doro wala muka ala subhanahu wa ta'ala tentu tumalami na fela en son jato la koten kamuro ale nan nyim programme kono mi yalon ko wala Mengbe Kering de wala mobe dawda dron mbal mumela be tentula mbal jayla wala mbatu ngaji be ndi nyindo itanyo la foron wajibe ha.
I'm calling you to wish you all the best. Gambia people have spoken and I've noticed in content of the Almighty. I'm telling you, I wish you all the best. Country in your hands in January, and you are assured of my guidance, transition. I wish you all the best, Mr. Barrow, okay?
Want to come again, say Fobula. Yeah, me come again, say Fobula.
So until because I want to make sure that every Gambian has and I swore to the Almighty Allah. Go back to the post. Because I want to make sure that every Gambian has and I swore to the Almighty Allah. Go back to the post. Because I want to make sure that every Gambian has money.
Itete sama jindela manke alati itete tili bondila de annabiti iko ilata alala mukuyaya igala kumo sosola itete sama jindila o manke alati itete tili bondila de iko ilata alala itala kumo sosola de.
Thank you, though I'll be a farmer in Banjul. Convey my congratulations to your entire team. This is transparent, this is the will of Allah, and as a Muslim I accept it. In good faith, the Gambian people have chosen you after 22 years of faithfulness. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Jeng.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Jeng, thank you very much and welcome to this special show, Be My Guest. And this is part of the Mengbe Kering. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Pamodu. I'm happy to be with you tonight.
Okay, good listeners are out there, and then viewers. As I can see, we have a whole lot of viewers out there, and then the radio also, a lot of listeners. And welcome to this special edition of Be My Guest on Mengbe Kering. And as you know, Mengbe Kering is a Mandinka program dubbed, translated as we say.
Everything happening.
We say it as
everything happening.
Okay.
You have to remember that. You have to remember that I'm a native of Sallah.
Oh, amenyadi kortanante.
Everything's fine, pal. Those are my people over there.
All right, very good. So, Mr. Jeng, I know it's late. I'm not gonna waste your time here. We're gonna have a maximum of 45 to 50 minutes chat. It's not even an interview. It's gonna be a normal chat between us, because we know that you hail from Banjul, where you did all your childhood, and then you once happened to be a mayor in that particular city. But then first of all, I know that you are a teacher as well. But then welcome to the show and say hi to the listeners and the viewers before we enter into the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pa.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be with you.
All right. Okay. Mr. Salla, we know that you went to Nusrat High School, and then you left the Gambia, and then returned back in the 80s, to go back, into the teaching field. So many people, especially those travel within the diaspora, when they come back to the Gambia, they don't want to go back to the teaching field. All what they want is to work in offices or high positions within the government or the private sector. So tell me what really motivates you at that particular time to come back to the Gambia, left the mighty USA to come back to the Gambia and go back to the classroom to give knowledge to many youths in the Gambia.
Thank you very much, Pa. Pa, there's no place like home. Mm-hmm. No matter how long you are away, no matter wherever you may be, your home is your home. Mm-hmm. And you owe them that obligation to go back and contribute your quota towards development. I believe in continuity. I think our grandparents and our parents, they've done their share, and I think we also owe it to the country at least to do something. Mm-hmm. So, after I completed my studies here, my intention was to go back and be with my people, because you have a better security being among your own people. You feel comfortable among them, and that cultural gap, that you experience, which is cultural shock in another people's country, does not sort of transpired when you are among your people. We have a common proverb, certain common proverbs in Wolof. One of them is, you don't put a piece of timber in water for it to turn to be a crocodile.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Good.
And the other thing is, a friend of mine once told me, he said in Wolof, "Negi buki, hese una wai mo binal buki."
Wow. Okay.
No matter how dirty the hole is for that hyena, the hyena would rather be there than anywhere else.
Good.
So I think those are motivating factors going back home. And when I went home not that I was there to look for a very high kind of a white-collar official job. My intention was to settle down, get married, be with my family, and be comfortable. Be comfortable. That was the bottom line.
Okay.
So it was achieved. And when I was in Gambia, I was happy in Gambia. That's right.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. I know also, like I said, you were a teacher and you were in the classroom and you teach so many youths in the Gambia, and now some of your children now, some of your students now, big enough, manning big positions. And during my research, I happened to find out that you even once taught our current president at Muslim High School, President Adama Barrow. Is that right?
Yes, that is true. He was a very good guy. He was a very nice student, very easy to get along with. Actually, I think almost all the students I had during my teaching career, they were very much cooperative. In fact, this Banjul that just recently passed away, I taught at Nusrat as well.
Oh, okay. May he so rest in perfect peace.
And it's a lot of people that were in the classroom the time I was teaching that are now, obviously they held some very key areas in development and contributing a lot towards the Gambian economy, and it goes on and on.
Okay.
So teaching is a very rewarding thing, because my father taught also, and my father taught President Jawara at Mohammedan School.
Okay.
Yes. And I have a photograph of President Jawara with my father when he was in his class.
That's really a very precious photograph.
Yeah, it's a history repeating itself. My father taught the first president, and I taught the third president.
Okay. What was your reaction when you first heard that your student Adama Barrow, was duly elected as the president of the Republic of the Gambia?
Very excited. I am still very excited. I'm very happy for him.
Okay.
And I continue to pray, that God will give him all the strength and power to make sure that he's able to handle the responsibilities that are on him. He was a very nice guy, and I think he's a very conscientious and a very honest person. And I believe with the support, he will do a very good job.
And, I also found out in my research that Adama Barrow was one of your polling agents, during your campaign.
Yes, 1997, when I contested parliamentary elections, he was my polling agent. That's right. We have established a very cordial and a very strong political relationship beside the classroom between me and Adama.
Great.
And I think that it's if we really give him the support, he will definitely do a good job.
Very good. I'm sure this chat is not about Adama Barrow, but then as his former teacher, and then what do you think Adama Barrow of a politician and Adama Barrow of a student? Because many people are saying that Adama Barrow is not a politician, and he will find it difficult, to govern the state. So what would be your reaction, to that? How would you explain to us? Do you think Adama Barrow? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, because I think he just needs to be given some little chance.
Okay, good.
Yeah, to be given a little chance. Once he's got a very good team around him, and he's taking good advice, and then he's reasoning out the way things are going. Eventually, he will the experience that people are talking about and the knowledge that people are talking about is not something that will come to somebody just like that. Okay. You have to walk towards it.
Good.
When I was a mayor, I didn't have much experience as a mayor. But when I left office, people think I did a good job.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of, it's not very easy to handle public administration because there are a lot of technicalities, there's a lot of bureaucracy involved, and there are a lot of challenges also. It's not like you just want to do something and you implement it easily like that. So people have to understand those kind of things.
Okay.
So and I definitely believe if we give him some little time and then give him the necessary support, I'm really worried about how divided we are right now after the coalition. I was under the impression that since this coalition worked and it was very effective, we were able to uproot the dictator that was here. We will continue to work together. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't embrace our own political parties. But that level of antagonism that I have seen that people projecting, I think is not very, very healthy. Okay. Yes, I know that we are not going to agree on everything.
Yes.
We can disagree on certain things, but still it shouldn't be a barrier for us to work together as one people.
Yeah, exactly.
Adama is a human being. We did not elect him. We did not elect him as a prophet. We did not elect him as a saint. We elect him as a president. He will make mistakes.
Yes.
But we don't have to take into account every small mistake that he makes. He's a human being. The necessary thing is to step back and rectify your mistakes and then move on to a very higher agenda.
Good.
I think that's basically what we need to look at. Not because it's a lot of blame game. It's a lot of people pointing fingers at other people for certain things. I think we are a little impatient.
That's right.
Impatient.
That's right.
And,
Okay.
I have a feeling that it's not going to help us much.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to see a strong bond, a stronger commitment towards national development rather than just coming up with criticisms that don't have any ground.
Any ground, yes.
So those things are not going to help our country. Adama he's inherited a lot of problems. The country is gone way down when he took over. And the economy is bad. The infrastructure is bad. We do not have any democracy. People were scared. Everything was falling apart. So he came at a time that a lot of work is needed, and the country is bankrupt because he inherited debt of $1 billion.
Yes.
So these are all things that we have to understand. He's been in office for what? Less than 6 months. Less than 5 months.
It's barely 4 months,
Barely 4 months.
Yeah.
So let's give him time and give him support. That's the most important thing. I'm really worried about the direction that we are going, especially the division that I'm starting to see among us. I don't think it's necessary.
It's really
I think we are one people. Gambians must just learn to work together and then look into national interest as #1 priority than anything else.
Thank you.
That's the most important.
I quite agree with you. Okay, listeners, this is Ovi on Gambian Kodu Radio and Facebook Live. Is Be My Guest on Mengbe Kering version. Tonight's guest is Mr. Sallah Jeng, former mayor of Banjul. And Mayor, you came from a prominent and historic political family. Your father was a mayor of Banjul. Your grandfather served in the legislative chambers. What role did this play in your getting into politics?
Yes, that is true. I come from a very politically oriented family. But my inspiration that gets me into politics is that I have read a lot about certain people that are outside of my family. I was very much keen about learning about, especially Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I read about Kwame Nkrumah and the struggle that he went to liberate Africa and his plans for Africa, which were very impressive. I monitored and I follow up Nelson Mandela throughout his struggle to liberate South Africa. I have listened to many sermons by Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and also I have closely studied some of the things that people like Patrice Lumumba did, all for a good cause, all for the people of Africa. But, you know, I also was very impressed by American political process. I have two of my favorite presidents, Bill Clinton and Jimmy Carter. I've been following their programs very closely. But bottom line is, like I said earlier, your home is your home. We are Africans, Gambians, and we owe it to our countries that we should go back there and motivate some kind of a change and then contribute our quota towards development. I was born in Gambia. I love Gambia, and I believe I'm obligated to Gambia as a whole, not only people of Banjul, but Gambia as a whole. When I talk about what I want to do most of the time, I want to tell people that I want to help Gambians in general. I want to help all by truth, but in particular, people of the Gambia. I really want to difference and make sure that I do something for them.
Okay.
So that's basically my motivation to get into politics.
To get into politics. Okay, we know that you won the Banjul mayoral election on an independent ticket. And then you were unconstitutionally removed as a mayor by the then president Yahya Jammeh. Did it once ring into you that you could have challenged the legality of such dictatorial decisions into the courts in the Gambia by then?
Yeah, Pa, you know, we Gambians, we always talk about rights and democracy. But sometimes we are reluctant to defend those rights at all costs.
Okay.
I know the Jammeh administration was very hostile to me, and I can understand their reason. They were riding on a high horse. They were over egoistic. And then I came in as an individual man, not a party, and then defeat the capital city. They don't like that, which I understand. The fighting started from day one. What they really want was to unseat me or have me in the council, but will never deliver effectively. Then they become very antagonistic because my agenda was development and not politics. Not of giving Yahya Jammeh attention. And you know Yahya Jammeh loves attention.
Yeah, he loves attention, really.
Yeah. When I was a mayor, I care little about him. I don't give a speech. I don't mention his name on my speeches.
Yes.
When I write, I don't write his name on my articles.
Okay.
When I publish a calendar for the council, his picture was not there. And he doesn't like those kind of things. He's like a kid with a cookie jar. He doesn't trust anyone with it. He does not want anyone else to be popular, to be rich, or to have anything good except him. That's his type of person he is.
Okay.
You ship your Hummer to Gambia and say, no, the president is the only person who should drive a Hummer. For what reason, nobody can tell you. Well, you know, the whole thing started when the APRC Councillor of Kampama Ward informed me that he was asked to sign an impeachment petition. And then he told me he signed it because they told him, they called them to the APRC bureau and told them it was a directive coming from the president's office.
Okay.
So then I know what was going on, that there was some clandestine sort of plan against me. So what happened is, when they continue to work on their plans, I also continue to prepare myself to fight the matter in court, which I did. And then when it gets to court, luckily enough, the case was brought in front of a judge that was a Commonwealth judge. The judge was Justice Ahmad Belgori from Nigeria, but was representing the Commonwealth law technical program that we had in Gambia. The judge reviewed it and then threw it away and told them that they have to reinstate me forthwith, which they never did. So they were expecting, you know, what they thought I was just like any other Gambian. They will just sign an impeachment petition and write to me, and that's the end of the story. But I fought with them all the way to the courts, and I won, which is the bottom line. I wasn't gonna just let it go like that. I mean, I think I was there by the mandate of the people, and I'm not gonna let Jame and his cliques just come and trample over me just easily like that. And I expect that the Gambians should be like that too.
But Mr. Jen, knowing the type of president we have, knowing the type of regime we have, you know, didn't you think so that when, for example, you know, because what Yaya Jammeh wants is all about publicity. So when you first publish this, you know, quality calendar for Banjul City, and you not, you know, include his picture in that particular calendar, and so many things, like you said, you will be writing speech, but you will not even mention his name. Don't you think you have, in some way, masterminded your own trouble with Jammeh?
No, it wasn't masterminding my trouble. I was just trying to demonstrate myself as a non-affiliated party independent mayor. If I was there to appease, if I was there as an APRC mayor, then I will work on APRC agenda. But I was elected by all the people, not APRC, by all the people of Banjul. And I was there to serve them, and I was there to address important things to the city, and not to get on petty politics, because that's what they were getting into. That's the problem we have, because during the Jammeh regime, everything was politicized.
Okay, good.
So I just stood on the grounds that I am an independent mayor, and I am going to remain independent. They have approached me many times to get involved in their, to attend some of their functions, and I refuse to do it. I give them some very, very courteous explanation that I cannot do it because it will be interpreted wrongly. And if I would have to do it for them, I'll have to do it for the other parties too. So this is it. But either way, I just have my own principles, and I stood by them. And that whether they like it or not, that's my belief.
And since you landed in this trouble, because I know that Yaya Jammeh would not want you to stay there, and exactly this is what he did, to organize clandestine meeting to impeach you. Did you have the backing of Banjulians who elected you as their mayor at the city council?
I wish that would have been a good thing. That's what I've been saying. Nothing that bothers me on that, because I can understand the situation that everybody was intimidated and people were very scared. But the bottom line is, the fact of the matter, I had few people that spoke up. Like my party did demanded that the mayor should be reinstated. Femi Peters did the same thing publicly. But you know, like earlier, a lot of people, a lot of Gambians, they really sacrifice. They generally expect that they will just tell you that eventually things will come out in your interest or will be better off. You know, they base everything on factors that are not real sometimes. But for the Gambian to get up and say that this is wrong, we are all going on a mass demonstration like what Hussein Dabo did with his people when Solo Sinding was arrested. You don't have too many people that will do that in Gambia. That's the problem. Like here in the United States, when something goes wrong, people get up and address it, because Americans believe that freedom is not free. And then they will do anything to make sure that their fundamental basic rights are not violated in any way.
Very good.
So this is the problem. But I think as time goes on, with this coming generation growing, they are becoming more aware. Maybe things will eventually change in Gambia, and we will have the same spirit.
Okay. And Mayor Jeng, one time Jammeh accused you of corruption. In one of his famous meetings in Banjul, he said, and I quote, "The independent mayor you voted for sold all the public toilets." Now, you know, this is your turn to react to that statement. You know, now the floor is yours. He said that he accused you of selling all the public toilets, you know, but we don't know where. So now I give you the floor to react to that.
Pa, you know what happened is? It's just amazing how stories are twisted just to mesmerize, just to fool people. In the first place, I don't know why he used all the toilets when one toilet was affected. In the second, but that's not the end of the story. The first thing I want people to remember is that none of the public toilets in Banjul is get a title deed. So how can you sell a property without documentation? Because when you sell a property, it should have a stamp duty, registration, and all those things are transacted at the Justice Department. So how is that possible? The whole issue that surrounds this toilet is nothing but political. Intention is to micromanage councils, have no intention of helping council to build up a revenue base. Councils have always been leasing open spaces that are under their jurisdiction. Go behind Albert Mack. All those stores you see there, they are council properties that were leased to people to build the stores, and then eventually the stores come back to the council. The same format contract was used on that toilet at Primates. Usually you have a toilet that occupies a very small area, but then within the toilet you have a lot of space that is around it. So what happened is a contract was given to somebody to rebuild the toilets, and they will remain for public use. But beside the toilets, on the outside of the toilets, the guy can build a store. And then after 10 years, if he builds a store, he can conduct a business at the store without paying rent. But after 10 years, the store will go back to a council-owned store, and he's going to start paying rent. That was the whole thing.
Okay. Good.
And that was done purposely to boost council revenue, because most of these toilets you see, council was having very difficult time to maintain them.
Okay.
You have to have attendants, you have to pay attendants, you have to buy toiletries, you have to pay for the water, and most of them were so dilapidated. I think if I have it my way, all the other toilets were following the same program so that they will be rebuilt, and then at the end of the day, somebody would be there paying rent, and that revenue going to council coffers.
Okay.
I think that was a brilliant idea.
Yes.
This is the whole story, and they blow everything out of proportion.
That you sold public toilets, that belongs to the city.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you
charge me for it.
Okay, all right.
They charge me for it. I went to court with them, but it doesn't hold water.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any grounds to stand because they cannot produce any sales document.
Yes.
So that shows it's all political.
Okay.
Nothing was based on anything.
I remember that you were not guilty of 2 counts previously, and then on the 23rd of October 2007 in the Brikama Magistrate Court, you were also freed from all the 4 counts levied against you. I remember that.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the first time
I went to court with them.
Okay.
The first time I went to court with them.
Okay.
Was about the impeachment.
Yeah. Yes, the impeachment. Yeah.
So I won that case. When I won that case, they filed a stay of execution. And then we went to another magistrate. He looked at it and he threw it away. He told them, "You don't have a case."
You don't have a case.
So after they lost twice, then they decided that they should arrest me and charge me with 6 counts of economic crime.
Economic crimes, and that involved a second-hand tow, a purchase of a second-hand towing ambulance at $340,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, there's a book that I wrote and distributed it to Banjul. It was just like all of those charges they did, like purchase of a generator and stuff like that.
Okay.
You see, the thing part is, I don't sign vouchers.
Yeah.
As a mayor.
Okay.
There is CEO and director of finance. They are the two signatories to council accounts.
Okay.
I don't sign checks. I don't sign vouchers. All I do is make recommendations. And the towing truck.
Yes.
When it was purchased, the CEO wrote to GPPA,
okay,
telling them that it was necessary for council because we have a lot of derelict vehicles out the streets. Our garbage trucks cannot maneuver in some streets because of derelict vehicles. The ambulance, in case of emergency, the ambulance or the fire truck cannot go to certain areas because people abandon their derelict vehicles. So it was a recommendation, and it was written by the CEO to GPPA seeking permission to buy the towing truck. So council was disconnected. And then we bought in fact, I brought a generator. I was using my own personal generator in council for almost 6 months.
Your own personal generator?
My own personal generator.
Okay.
Then we decided to buy one. Council first bought 2 generators, but they cannot accommodate the work of council. So therefore, one heavy-duty one that we had, which was given to council at a very reasonable price.
Okay.
We bought it.
Okay.
And then it was like, you don't have a permission from GPPA to buy the generator. You see, the whole story is this. They want to keep council whilst I was there. They don't want council to be functional. They want council to be in darkness. They want council without power. That way we cannot conduct business. We cannot use our computers. We cannot deal with the outside world. And then I'll be sitting there for 3, 4, 5 years. And then they will turn around and tell the people of Banjul, this is what we are telling you.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do anything whilst being here. That was their intention. But I have my own way. I went around.
Did one time the President's office request, money or sort of material from the council when you were mayor at the city council?
They always do. They always do. The councils were just something that they can use all the time.
All the time, to get,
yes. I have vouchers of councillors being paid night allowance to go and work at his farm in Kanilai.
Wow.
Vouchers of council paying the cultural groups that are going to play for his birthday anniversary celebration.
Wow. Yeah.
Vouchers of APRC writing to local government, writing to APRC bureau, writing to council, asking them to buy table on their APRC gala fundraising gala. I have all those medals here.
Okay. Maybe you were a little bit strict. You were a little bit strict and a little bit, resistant, for that, kind of money to be released, without explanation.
Of course, and they don't like that. They don't like that.
Okay.
You have to remember, the council there are people that would travel who should be on the central government payroll or budget, and they will write to council that council should pay for their traveling allowances.
Oh my God. Wow.
They've been doing all those things.
Wow.
They were just milking the councils. And when I was there, I was like, no, this is a money for the municipalities to develop their own regions. It's not money that you could go. They owe council so much money, and I signed an agreement with them that they will be paying what they owe us to NAWEC because of our street light. But they refused to pay, and NAWEC just overnight would come to the office and disconnect our service. And I went to finance to sort it out with them, and I said, look, it was here that we signed this agreement. Central government owe council this much money. Council owe NAWEC this much money. Why can't we just work out a payment plan that they would use? It was signed, but they refused to comply with the agreement.
Central government should pay the council so that the council pay NAWEC, like three-way triangular
or pay NAWEC directly for the bills of council because they owe us more than $7 million.
Wow. Okay, Mr. Jeng, I'm gonna come back to this question again because I think you already talked about it, but then I want us, to go through it again because given the fact that you were an independent mayor against the wishes of President Jammeh, do you think that also contributed to the bitter hatred towards you from the man himself and from the APRC party, in general?
I think it was part of the problems that they don't want to accept the defeat.
Yes.
They were going through what they call the agony of defeat. They don't want to accept it. That was part of the problem. Okay. But again, the other problem is I want to be an independent mayor and I just don't want to bow down to everything they say. That was another problem. So they think I was being stubborn. So basically, combination of all these things, it's just like every independence, when they said that it's going to be decentralized,
okay,
they send me their speech and I was the only one who would review it and see the things I don't want to say, and then I would just delete them, and then the good things I think is worth saying, I will say.
Okay.
But I don't think it is right that you should give me your speech to deliberate on it. When I have faculties, I can think, I know what to say. So I think that was very dictatorial.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things that they don't want to accept.
Okay.
But bottom line, it was not that I was trying to resist them. It was not that I don't want to work with them.
Yeah.
But most of the bottlenecks between me and them was coming from them.
Okay, good.
That was the problem.
Good. And I know, Mr. Jeng, very soon, not too far long, we're going to go back to this local government election, and then the city of Banjul will not be any exceptions. And it seems you are well respected in Banjul. This is the reason why you won, on an independent ticket when nobody or few people, thought at that particular time somebody would win the mayoral seat in Banjul on an independent ticket. As a matter of fact, I know someone who would only run as a mayor if you did not run. How do you feel when you hear things like this? Do you want to make a comeback?
Yeah, but you don't buy respect, you earn it.
Yeah.
And I also respect, trust, and honor people. I thank them, and I think, to me, I was just doing what was expected of me. I was voted to be their servant, and I want to serve them the best possible way. And I try to do my best.
Good.
In the course of my duty, there are times maybe that I may not have done the right thing.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I'm human. In the course of my duty, times I may offend certain people, but if so, at the end of the day, I would turn around and say, please forgive me.
Yeah, that
it's
is
not
divine.
my wish.
That is divine, really.
But bottom line, when I was running for mayor, the philosophy that I used on my campaign, and when I was doing my television presentation was,
yes,
people want somebody to listen to them, and that's exactly what I want to do. I want to listen to people.
Okay.
And if you listen to people, you understand people, and you're ready to work with people, I think you will do something very effective. And that's exactly what happened.
Indeed.
Anything I did, it wasn't me. It was people that were with me. It was a team. As an individual, I cannot do anything.
Okay.
But because people gave me the support, and people are willing to give me some good ideas, that's the reason why I was able to do a lot of things. And I appreciate them very much. If I have to do it again, I will sit with them again and listen to them and see where they will guide me to.
Okay.
I think basically the respect is mutual.
Okay.
I was just doing what I was supposed to do, but they were the one helping me to motivate a change.
Okay. The run up to the mayor election is just at the corner. Now, my question is, are you ready to make a comeback at in the city hall?
At one point in time,
yes,
I thought if I have to work again, it will be on a different capacity.
On a different capacity.
But the fact that I had so many calls recently, and people really want me to come back,
okay,
then I'm giving it a second thought.
Yes.
But again, Pa, my I have to study the situation. I've been away from Banjul, Gambia for almost 9 years or more. But when people demand, you honor them.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. But my problem right now is to bring Banjul together. That is, to me, that is more of a priority than even being a mayor.
Even being a mayor. And how do you intend to do that?
I think whenever I come back home, I would try to sit with all the parties concerned and talk to them.
Good.
And see what we can do to forge that bond of togetherness and work together. Because I really want to see unity.
Good.
I don't want to see fragmentation. Yeah, we can have different parties. We can embrace different ideologies. We can have different beliefs. But when it comes to common interests of the nation, we can sit down and just brainstorm and see how we can work together. It's the same thing that Jesse Jackson once said. It's a rainbow. We have it's a rainbow coalition. Jesse Jackson said that it's like a quilt. It's not a blanket. A quilt is many pieces, many sizes, many colors, but all bound together by a common thread. We are one. We are Gambians.
Good.
And I keep telling people, Banjul is Banjul, but Banjul is the capital of Gambia. It's all Gambians' capital. I keep telling people the demography of Banjul is changed. We have the first, second, third, and the fourth generation of Banjulians. So we are all in this together. Let's just accept each other. Let's just embrace each other. Let us all work together as one people from Banjul, and it extends all the way to Koina. If we do that, we will see results. And our country will be a model again in the whole West Africa. And these are the things that I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see unity. I want to see a national agenda being given priority. I want people to have that kind of harmony, to have that kind of respect for each other, and then ready to support and help each other. That kind of attitude will take our country higher and higher. And I think it's very important that we start to think in those terms.
Good, good. And if you are given an opportunity to return to City Hall for the second time, tell the people of Banjul who are listening right now, what will you do differently this time, given all the problem they have?
I believe that things would be different because I'm not going to find myself in the midst of wolves in sheep clothing.
Okay. Wolf in sheep clothing.
At least this time I will be more comfortable because of the people that I'm going to work with. And at least they will give chance to development, and they will try to give you the necessary support that you need, instead of looking at you as an alien or somebody who is not part of them. So when those factors are out of it, then at least both of you will work mutually to a point that it will be to the interest of the nation. I think things could be better, but again, I must say, I'm going back to my original statement here.
Okay.
Let us not use politics to be an obstacle towards development. Let us try to look into those areas that will help our people create jobs, better sanitation, better health facilities, boost the economy, make sure that things start moving. Things have been on a standstill for a long time.
For a very
so
long time.
we have, those are the things we need to start thinking about. Those are the most vital, important things that we should put on the table right now. And if I would go back to Gambia, like I said, my priority would be really work on seeing how I can help to bring back that kind of spirit on people, that we are all one, we are all Gambians, we need to love one another, and we need to help one another. And if we do that, then love will transpire in our hearts. God will help us, just like God did, to help us to get rid of the guy that suppresses us for 22 years.
Indeed.
So basically, once we get that done, then the path is much clearer and easier for us to ride on.
Okay.
That's the bottom line.
Thank you, Mayor Jeng. And you already mentioned in your summation that no human being is perfect, despite the fact that we know that you did tremendously well when you were mayor at Banjul. But what would you say were your shortcomings as mayor?
The biggest problem is that councils don't have revenue. It's very difficult to develop a council without revenue. If you don't have revenue, you don't have resources, you are overstaffed, you have more responsibilities, especially sanitation, which is very important. That's your biggest headache.
Yeah.
How you can expand the revenue base, how you can cut down on abuse. There is also a lot of abuse in councils.
Yes.
There is a lot of things that you have to be very vigilant about. So those are problems. But again, in a poverty culture, it's very difficult to control some of those things 100%. Because you cannot close all doors. Doing it would be so tremendous, it's not even going to worth it. But at least you try to minimize the abuse. But revenue is very important for the councils, resources for the councils. Councils have to have shovels, they have to have bulldozers, they have to have good trucks, garbage trucks, and these are all very important. And then, to maintain them is another thing. So these are some of the problems that I've been talking. You cannot do much, because before the end of the month, your headache is, how are we going to pay all the staff? And you're thinking about getting other materials that are needed. You have to keep the street lights on, you have to pay NAWEC, you have to change the right bulbs in the streets and all those things cost money. And I think the decentralization paper that government has been trying to implement with the donors, they have to look at it properly as well. Because instead of having any progress towards the decentralization document, we are retrogressing. Government is taking more and more control of councils.
Okay.
So the centralized paper document is there, but it's not very much active at all.
Okay.
So those are things that need to be looked at.
Okay. Somebody just texting on this Facebook Live, Modunjai, asking that can you approximately tell us when you were mayor at the city council, what was the average revenue collectible in a day in Albert Market, for example?
I think the collection, commercial vehicle fees, and the Albert you know, the Albert Market has got a different account that was being monitored. I used to review their collections too.
Okay.
But I think on a weekly basis, it was almost about 35,000.
35,000
on a weekly basis.
35,000.
Yeah. Yeah, give and take.
Okay.
The problem with Albert Market is the rent. A lot of people owe a lot of areas on rent. Yeah, because again, it's the same thing I was talking about, the abuse. I mean, you have people are supposed to collect rent, but sometimes because of their whatever connection they have with the storekeepers, they keep pushing their hours forward. I started a system when I was there. I was reviewing the rent on a monthly basis, who pays, who doesn't pay, who's got areas, but the Albert Market, I started to straighten up. The biggest problem at the Albert Market is the zoning was wrong.
Okay.
They have different zones. And then you have one store would be located in this area, but it's on a different zone that was on another area.
Okay.
So I was trying to rectify those kind of things when I was there. But it really was not easy to collect rent from the stores. They were owing a lot of money whilst I was there.
Thank you for that question. And then this one, definitely, Mr. B. Mayo, I have to be, hypothetical here in this one, because let's say you contest the election, the people of Banjul that selected you to run as a mayor, happen to select you again, and then you win. What would you do differently this time? Because, looking at Banjul, it looks like a war-ravaged city, for lack of better description. Do you have a blueprint for all these surmountable tasks ahead?
I think the first thing, most of the streets that were constructed during my time were under the Dam Works program, which is also a World Bank program. Councils just pay 10% counter contribution. I'm not sure if that program is still on. But again, if at all, because it was under the capacity building, if it's still being those fundings are still available, I think councils should continue to take advantage of them. But like I said, counterpart contribution also needs some money.
Some money, yeah.
I mean, if council accounts remain on red, then they will not be to have that capacity of paying their counterpart contributions.
Okay.
You see, 50% of council revenue goes on environmental purpose, like cleansing service. That takes about 50% of council's revenue. But planning, prioritizing their whatever they're supposed to do, those things are very important. And then looking at every avenue possible to expand the revenue. It was when I was there, I wanted to start municipal bond. Just like you buy treasury bond from central bank. I wanted council to issue municipal bonds so that they can fund certain projects. And then over a period of time, we can pay those people that invest on municipal bonds with interest. But it wouldn't work because based on the laws, it's like council is taking loan, and council cannot take a loan without the permission of the Secretary of State.
Good. Okay. All right.
So that alone is a handicap.
Okay.
But I think my intention,
yes,
if I have to be a mayor again, my number one intention, and what I really want to do, which I started working on when I was there, was to build a hall.
To build a hall.
build another city hall, another administrative office would be Banjul City Council.
Banjul City
I think
Council.
it's a shame. It's a shame that our capital still have that building as the main headquarters.
Okay.
If I would go back to council as the mayor, that's number one priority.
Okay.
Demolish that whole structure and then build up a very good city hall.
A very good city hall. Okay, I think I guess Banjulians are really waiting for you, and you know, right now, you know, impatient, you know, for the campaign to start, and then they can all back you up as they did the last time. I'm afraid we come to this to the end of this conversation, Mr. Mayo, and then sorry, I said it's gonna be 45 minutes, but I take a little bit of your time. But now, you know, to conclude this show, Mr. Mayo, now I give you the floor. Talk to the citizen of Banjul. Tell them why they should send you back to the independence drives. Tell them.
Well, Pa, I think action speaks louder than voice. They have seen the things that happened during my time, and I think, like I said just now, I believe the number one priority, priority A on my agenda, is to make sure that we have a better administrative office in Banjul.
Good.
In fact, I started working on it. I have engineers that built a model structure for me whilst I was there. And there was a Senegalese man who was with the Senegalese City Council who was trying to help me look for funding, because there were people that, I think it's an Italian bank or something, that was willing to come and study the whole thing and see if they can fund the project. But unfortunately, before anything was done, I was out of the office for some reason. I was planning before I leave that at least that project would be in the pipeline. If I didn't start it, whoever comes after me can start the project. That was my plan. But I posted on Facebook about the current structure, because it was a Lebanese project. It was built by the Lebanese, but it cannot accommodate the work of council anymore.
Okay.
And I think it's about we should have a better city council in Banjul.
Okay.
And if I would go back, that's my number one priority.
Thank you very much, Mayor Sallah Jeng, and we wish you all the luck, you know, and we're praying for you so that you can return to that city hall for the second time and do what you do best for the people of Banjul. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pa. I enjoyed it. It was a very nice conversation.
Thank you so much.
You are really a star.
You're highly welcome. Thank you so much, Mr. J. Anyway, I know this is not going to be our last conversation. Now and then I will be inviting you, like I'm doing to other people. I will invite you, and then we can take it from where we stopped today.
Absolutely. All right, my brother.
Nimbara Bake, thank you. Jerejef Jarama.
Kontantale Bake. Yamoy.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
You have a good day.
All right.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
I'm calling you to wish you all the best. Gambian people have spoken, and I have no reason for content to you at the I'm telling you, I wish you all the best. Country in your hands in January, and you are assured of my guidance, transition. I wish you all the best, Mr. Barrow. Okay?
What to come against a popular? Yeah, yeah, me come against a popular.
So until because I want to make sure that every Gambian and I swore to the Almighty Allah back to the polls. Because I want
we will go back to the polls. Good listeners, this is the end of this special catch-up with Honorable former Mayor of Banjul, Sallah Jeng. And we will trying to bring more people into the show just to hear their voice. And then not only these people of high class or VIPs or highly educated, but then my next guest in the show will be perhaps Fatih Haidara will come and join me in the show on Saturday. Perhaps I'm gonna extend the invitation to the Mengbe Kering followers, and then also I'm going to send another invitation to Mengbe Kering main group, and then group 1, group 2, group 3, and then another invitation to Mengbe Kering Foundation. There are a lot of Mengbe Kering groups, so I'm going to bring all of them here to talk about Mengbe Kering. Badimolo butun wato fela sita wolo mo mayor, the former mayor of Banjul, Sallah Jeng, ku jamal le katala mi yalon ko yaya jamme tajirante ya min ke molla ya jamme o tajirante ya kilumuna kata fanan na bari ala nyin katala min rike to mandobi je nin ala en so sibitu lumala minambe muluna o katalu kanne nyin kamala nsa katani fanantanga analyze poten ngajibe katala famo be katanya dile ka buso. So bari jami wo be kala dron in the second part of the show wole be kala Mengbe Kering famati wala alikana bojede bi nari bi janna de wala
itete sama jindela monke alati itete tili bondila de monke annabiti iko ilata alala mukuyaya itala kumo sosola itete sama jindila o itete tili bondila de iko ilata alala itala kumo sosola de.
Thank you. Though I'll be a farmer in Manila. Convey my congratulations to your entire team. This is transparent, this is the will of Allah, and as a Muslim I accept it. In good faith, the Gambian people have chosen you. After 22 years, I'm grateful to the Almighty Allah. I remember I came on a Friday, 22nd of July, and I lost on Friday, the 2nd of December. No, it's not the 22nd, but the 2nd of December. Allah is telling me that my time is up, and I hand over graciously with gratitude to the Gambian people and gratitude to the Almighty Allah.
Badi wala mo singatati ani DJ Yaya Jammeh former president comme DJ ali alona la nyin singulo diata bake badi saimbe fero kala la nyin kamala ase single do fanan sambana nim bala hola demi Yaya Jammeh jibi akwa be wobe diala bake wosobe sembo soda la bake ko Yaya Jammeh be munela be lombon nar lela chayadu wosobe diala de. So well, no respect to you, DJ Yaya Jammeh, alongside Singate. So, congratulations to you. Butumbadi mo sa infemo fenti jenali edu na program na kunya planyo. Assalamu alaikum kote mbadi Gambian kodu mobe dawda ngali konton kote ngal tola anali jamundamuro konton diro kola nsafale ko ngadunna programu kono kote Mengbe Kering bayring Mengbe Kering nka fo wala nyama ngadati no wala nyama mba fo ka wala nyama andu Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala la man sabaya to fanan mbe continue kan ka fo wala fanan nyama mbe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warandila mbatentula nga programme to dada la koten commune dal tala nyamin bismillahir rahmanir rahim nga tanko nyina bulu anin kanto nyin kamala nga mindati ni bismillahir rahmanir rahim la isaje ko nsa kumfano ni alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin utum badi ngolo comme ale yalo nyame bi na first part keta be my guest leti second part wala mo Mengbe Kering wala wakamala bi Mengbe Kering wonyon siala bake bari lafita ka dulal le jibe dulal mini yalon ko itambita num bi mo jama hakilo mante kam bari ñin sake hakil bulando ti comme wati nga fale ko ñim programme mo hakil bulando leti ngata wota no janne wodun ko tidi wotile nin nata Mengbe Kering ko janne ba fala sibite koten Adama Barrow la ko fonsa diam andu wotta wolu ngawol menta to mando bije ko kuntam fala tere kanina bara min bade subola wobu kanina so ninga ko mo fon kombe nyinkela ninta jinata dobe talla jele me yalon ka manyina amari safo ko bare pamo bi ko be nyinkele make bare nyanda min lon na wolom nyinti ko jiminna be mo nyina lalati nyine asabu wato do nyino ka ke bare nin nyino ke da mun nyanta to hadama de won tego wolom nyindi ko kanyo hakilo bulandi na nyina ko Adama Barrow follow mba konton na Gambia banko kan ani Star FM do kulal be mbebe konton na bari nyinino mo mollati mol miliyalon ko yela do kono aseniate nin Gambia banko radio be banko radio miliyalon ko be Gambia nin ni radio be keta ko Star FM ngoton non APRC la kolo ndikare diam la fanka fo wato do la Barrow la man sakunda nyanta APRC falale nyanta APRC burkala bari APRC mo parti leti me yalon ko aketa Gambia e kansalati aketa Gambia e kurango sifa sata kurango to APRC keta nyewolati yaya jamme alfa min fa Gambia yaya jamme dindingo min fa Gambia yaya jamme mo min kasara Gambia sasa jama kana ibuko molu kasara no Gambia so nyine asabu nim banko dole be kumbola wala banko dole be wosira ko ebola le dundaji ntolu ebola manduya bari mimbe ntoliya wala fango jawata ebola ti wala mu yaya jammeti yaya jamme fango ebola leti anata jawya ebola ti bari bi nim mol ko yaya mo kendo leti wala mu moluti molu mini yalon ko amema bari wollo mu moluti fana molu mini yalon ko imanyam banko mo doluto yaya jamme minuluma bari be bi min kono ni be yaya jamme jayila ibe yaya jamme tentula ibe yaya jamme la betiya fola ise mira nyinna ko kanyiba kanyi ala muso ana dingulu anin ala dimbaya molu ibe batulo la sanje muwannin fula pour ka kala mutandiro ke foyela badi ma faale balodi na famantara balodi tili wotili muso ne sila nyale kela tili wotili anin sila nyale kawuli tili wotili muso nin jakalo le kela tili wotili ala muso nin jakalo le kawuli bari miro me dunna kuwala ya faale hani imafa bari momi muta sanje tan anin fula komala kunun kole keta wala sada mun ko to wom kulati mi yalon ko abala fa warta bak so nyine asabun tolu nimbe yaya jam metentula bi hani atara misal fe bari nga Gambia ko do lonne wato do moni moka du nyolale moni mola du nyola ataya lon ko womantara yaya jamme ate ko walla baydi nin karle dun tanyola mbatu nga yaya jamme fal kulu tento bari nibe yaya jamme fal kulu tento le nyante hakilo bulande minna yakilo bulande kanyiba kanila dimbaya la nala dindingol mini be do yare yakilo bulande solo kurmanda anin solo kurma dingolu mini yalon ko be do yare yakilo bulande solo sandenna anin solo sanden dingolu mini yalon ko ibe do yare bari se hakilo bulande sajo kunjan sane fananna anin adingolu bari fanay ise hakilo bulande Ibrahima Fatila ise hakilo bulandi Malafila ise hakilo bulandi Usman Korosisala ise muru ise hakilo bulandi Chief Ibrahima Manila anin yaya jamme mon mini mandi bini yalon ko hani bi metara duralo lo so nyine asabu ni atara kunun radiole be banko kanne radiole mini yalon ko na faham tonya bayre ni programme wol fo mine bina labanna ibe la radiole soronna andu ni la radio sono mune bina kera wala nyinti ko itolla safaru dulalo wala be kuntulale andum fanan asasabu mo jama mi yalon ko wala be do ko la radio to wala be se do kunta yanode so nyine asabu radio li dabo ndi politiko to Gambia ya jamme ko kuke radio lo malla fi kalon private radio wala kambinke wala nyinti ko kamisi ko play kabirin somonda fanyo somonda lenjamo fata bari toli kamin tandi mo la wala nyinti ko tonya altol na la mun ko ya jamme be tandin tenne ntoli de man hanyala andum be min fola tele wala nyinti ko Gambia there is no problem, everything is alright ñin no mo problem wote ngamin soto no Gambia ni mo be keta no Sallah Jeng because kabiri Sallah Jeng nata nga mo yala kachal ko na la sa no le fanan kabiri bayrin ka kemme yoti wo mu fennati me yalon ko wo mu fennati me yalon ko akuma yata bake andun jor jamal le bije so nyine asabu kabiri Sallah Jeng nata asano da fana e la ya jamme kan komi momo ni nata hani nata ni independent ticket o la ngi jele ikedo yaya jammela julolla kato ko mobe be jiriyar la yaya jammelon dir lati yaya jammelon buter lati yaya jammelon far lati yaya jammelon balundir lati Gambia banko so Sadio Barrow wulita abe doku minna adoku sembo watane bari mune asabu APRC ko wato wati malla fi Sadio Barrow la dalilo le asabu wo dalilo bi la fita ka wala faali ndo mandi bari katani ntemela dalila jumale asabu APRC malla fi yaya jam Sadio Barrow andu nyin dalila kilimo le asabu e faniyalu dabal kadila lawyer mi yalon ko ala doku danta kiti bungole to barata fara no journalist le nyanta nyinne kala walle nyanta nyinne kala Sadio Barrow APRC ko le wulta jam ala life threaten ka fay ko ite Sadio Barrow ni me hakilo tum be falale woda madam ma mol mini wolfo woni nyanta tan la kiti o bundato le nyintemboto ibe nyinin karo de jabi kan dalilol mini alon ko ye hadama din wala life threaten kalo sako momi mboko Sadio Barrow kalo ka fay ko mbe fana bari nga wodi janne modi ye nyaka sala modi nyinata jantan ne ya akacha bari nyimbe mo APRC la ferol lati mini alon ko ibe dabal kan nada ja mamme afele lawyer mi yalon ko wala mo APRC ko la wala mo yankuba baji nyon la lawyer ti ako Sadio Barrow aya bulo likili kay kato Sadio Barrow ka kumo ni memfo woni min ka ke kiti la e manke kilo mote hani ataran tulunga lon ne ko amantara to nya fo kan kato kon to le man dinka kam mo le andun ka Sadio Barrow la mo le wati Sadio Barrow man kufo ko mi yalon ko amantara safere kay to wala ka newspaper le review andung Sadio Barrow ka fo ni mandinka kawon la newspaper ka safening angale kawon la ando aka mimfo ni mandinka kawon la wala ka tara newspaper bari mune ya sabu APRC mala fi Sadio Barrow la bari nala hakilo baka 1994 sawon kono July 22nd wolunne bandiole nyo kubembe bandiole mini alon ko so yenna uniform on le do uniform on mini alon ko tolle nga sayje kabirin samato fo dendi ko fo kurto fa femo fentelle nga tika nga sayye kidol mimbe bulun telle nga sang ye kesol min ke wo kidol ko non telle nga sang e ka busol min te ka mol buten telle ngo busol sang nga dina nyin kamala yen kanta bari nyim bandi saltere min yalon ko damali nyukku bembe itate lotan tul Gambian ko nyati le wala ko tul they are soldiers with a difference to nyalo bari nga sojarol min beje sojar man sakundal min beje inila tajirante ya nyawo nya inila kuuli nyawo nya ibuka de na nonu bondi sadati jalamay nga sojar man sakundal bilije tambita inila kalabante inila kuul be nyawo nya ibuka lo da bankolu kay majority try ta kene ibuka nga sojar man sakundal bilije tambita nga jele inila o kalabante inila kukota wol nyawo nya yaya jamme minke bankundingo kam bankundim barakama min boko Gambia nyim bankundim barakama mi yalon ko muslimol be sirin jele christianol be sirin jele dina din kedol be sirin jele andum nyinun dom bakilim fakino wonte ila fatam fanso la dino la wo ma sabu da mal buka ben ida mal buka kata buka kuka nyoka wo ma wasa so mune ya sabu ni woma sabu no woliye janjang mune ya sabu yaya jamme min nata ako adate politiko to politiko notale politiko mosun kande wolle ka woke muna na yaya jamme be kala sababu ti kan tul bakilin fakilin wolta kan kuyandi kan nyatilin ni nyon lan da malbe nyon konna da malbe nyon kadafila da malbe nyon kortela da malbe nyon nyimina tilibula ba nyimmu kule de me yalon kon ton nyanta amira lalde yaya jamme ten tul fangolo bayri banko min boko Gambia yaya jamme came from nowhere yaya jamme lodoron kube kuto ka kentol lan tul da mal fango nata muru nyokan til kunte lan kanyo domo manyo tabi nyinde ya sabo esti ko alim domo bare Gambian ko le nyoban domo lan Gambian ko le nyoban domo lan ngadu nyodi yaya jamme lale nga nyodi duol lale yaya jamme ni nga nyodi ala doro mini nyodi ala e muta yam fa na yam fa en chika e di ala jalan wala en chika e di ala bambola en chika e di ala duol la nyinde be kering Gambia banko bari moli amira fo yaya jammele PPP fa bari nadi amol jambe ngalo ninna onkuru buka benno wala nin ko PPP fatale watu aka bulo liki nyala aka ko nyam ko ko ni mam fata PPP la mbe muso busi le wala onkuru siaka mbe na fo bodile bari nyinde fo ngani ndula busu do wonde onkuru siaka songo yalate atere kanda karawato wadu ninkombe ko do wala PPP mbuke fono katu ko munya mumanya na fana ila onkul fana wato ka bulala kunko to man koy so bare onkul ebe permission o dilal nale ngani dulala busu domande bari nala hakilo baka kabiri 1994 nam nasila July 22nd monene man sinu Gambia mi yalon ko yemira ko lunkilimbe silale mole be bolanam from military barracks mimbo ko yaya jamme kanilai aina akate jawara le coup d'etat ate kentol la president wati tilo fango boy ay taraji barin kale ko Gambia mammim long kabirim biring bari na foloto kebal le wolom ntolu ngambo wotale wolom nyinti ko touch one touch all Gambia ntolle jawara keje democratically nga president nga carte fayaye through democracy majority rule the vote nga jawara sin ninga jawara sindi bandi saltere botande la kampolto idin jora on min natan tolle ngadi de la city family la city family soto family kela min lukay ka min lu domoy ka min lu boron ntolle abe sangade ni wolu nate ni la kalabante ya ni la obandi salte ya ni nate ko yon jalla democratic elected president wala bondi je Gambian ko be de nyante la banko to abe tilin ka foy ko atakara hani atara mod min fama ya lon ko nis e mantara PPP to be parti dol leto bari nyanda millon na wolom nyindi ko banko ni kudeta kelin ketaje a banko ka fuile janning a banko ba fama sota andu nyenne kata Gambia kabiri yaya jamme nata kudeta ke modi e munefo dolu ko ate mela be samba bita tili wotili monni hamore katara siri jawara binale soma haybe jin fere kalleto imaje America fama minfo Angleterre fama yala modu bondi janne Sweden wol ko be visa le di tema Spain wol ko be kelatenne kumo be fota bare wobuka bandiyo samba bandiyo nyaabe no minkam wala mo wasi se kilibal ni wo pompitero ni wo kama kilo ni wo buru kilo min yalo be belare state house ko itole biri dunde kamu da yalo de san kampoto inin konko da botanan kampoto nyini buka balu kampoto e mi la nyin kalera ba mi yalon ko ingredient on fama buka si nyama al min yalon ko wolle katarja buka si amunda ye manota ke kana moy manota ya bulaji yoko na nyuluku ay tulo kaka murunda ay fedden kaka kino bebe seyare nyin ka balu walla kampoto nyin nada tilikilenti katika nada si wasi ambaka ye tenjibe manjawara je tenjibe manjawara la garso je ko sai militaire altol le marta nyin state house on taboroji be dammaru no kanyo saba jumale be buro folota la jumale be banana baltala jumale be dam ko fonnale bi je nyina ya sabu na cameraman ol fanam ye mistake balle ke no nyinul be ida o borolu wol be nyanta kala documentary lete min yalon ko tonnum bi woli en nafa soto nyem ba lon la ko tonya from the beginning yara fa nyinulu habode nyinulu sambana presida yala bari nyinulu ko min presida ya experience le bebul wala ko min Gambian ko li nata ka wala bonde bata kono nyinulu mo womira katu ko mantara num bata kono nyinulu ye bonde min kono ñinu nata yen du limmin kono wala jawyata yen taramin kono bari nene ngo fo jange andu nga foti ka fol so ñine asabu Yaya Jammeh mang PPP fa bari Sadio Barrow wala PPP fa ali ñine ka Sadio Barrow e PPP fa nyaadi la bari mo dantam bije mo sama wala PPP fa dak Sadio Barrow Maimuna Ba ani Malik Jones of all people Sadio Barrow e PPP fa nyaadi la ni Malik Jones e Maimuna Ba especially Sadio Barrow bari muneka nko Yaya Jammeh mu toleti Yaya Jammeh mu dofoleti bari Yaya Jammeh manke toleti de Yaya Jammeh mu kafiro leti tajirante don tawnte don miyalon ko aya lonna kaminke andun kabira namna nala jang ameta sirin kampo to la do kini seyari ngolo domola bara la wokini seyari domol be kampo to Yaya Jammeh la stodi be ka kemuneti worom ka Gambian ko stodi ka lon tan mo si fanya dileti Yaya Jammeh meta la study la into study la in study because Gambian ko buka watu taka nyum Gambian ko fanga study nyine asabu watu wati se moy ninkar ko yata muno aya kennan ise do fana moy ngake karla ya ke karla ya kenna muna na iba kelala muna ne be sonna ya kela katu ko muno manso nyo de study la manso nyo lonna manso mafo ka nyo korasi ku jawanda bari ni momi besiri ni mo wo molong itata modolo na koten so nyine asabu mo momi lon jama wone ke mone bari ye momi lo wote mone non mbega wala so Yaya Jammeh kabiri nga nata yen tolulon kabiri nga wo fambondi mo nata ngala fambondi yar fo janne from one stage to another stage kabiri Yaya Jammeh nata as fambondi ay sojaro le man ko ani sojaro le be nyola bota wota la minister man ko itawta la politician no do abota wota mo do ma kala mundo dinde wol man ko to fana mune sisi loka atata e musolo banko e bari fanan ko tele ka bulo ko sai butun sai kabiri nga wulta banko be ma ngombe wurla be moneke so nyine asabu ala entulude ma ya bondi Yaya Jammeh bol bari Sadio Barrow e PPP fanyami wolom nyinte ko Yaya Jammeh kabiri nga nata la o commission lu londi aligali commission wole PPP ta aya bampak because ni one thing kabiri Yaya Jammeh embargo bonde pour PPP ye murun nan koten ka contest ke dabu la politiko kono to num PPP ni symbole be wulla katu ko la mol mini alon ko be num PPP andu latale andu be jawara ko ma signa 100% be jawara ko ma andu nyinu mu PPP la parti de wonlet hani atara wolbota num PPP itata parti doluto nim PPP na ta murun be bola o parti doluto le ye murun PPP but kabiri Yaya Jammeh nyin commission lon sa what amanke Gambia da mate katu nga fo jawolo Gambia ton ko nano be katambi wala kata kasama Senegal kata fo Guinea Bissau dawda mobe afarda male babulo katara siri ka mune batu ka jamano le batu mune be fo kan jamano nin Sadio Barrow nata nin minna commission on bije lungo minna nin Sadio Barrow ye kayto min safe ye diala ka wolle karan komin bi aka kara nyami what is the difference bi aka kara wala nyama ase mino kaytol karan minister ye jenkol minke Gambia di won nakar nyaadi de kan nakololu ta ka batara ya domo ke di won chika ke samba karam bul to ka contrat ko ta ke di contrat ko min ya ko they don't exist doni e sayniro ke ni bulo dale fo la bawone bulo la sayno ni fango ko saybe ni sute lale e ka peno mutani sinkumba le ka sayniro nobe mo Sadio Barrow da so kono janne tumalami na woketa mo laba on min tuta PPP mo be nata nyor PPP le ko yara fan ton malo Mengbe Kering PPP be nyim bata Mengbe ko le telle nyillankam nde sita ngam fango jibe do sita fango jibe ko nyimle million on Mengbe ta ye be sunya nte dingo fele bi abita kan karambu to mala karambu joso nde dingo fele bi amman samato fango so do man ko do fango so do be samato min sannay don ko ndingol fele jita kana boto mando ko so bar say mo kilin ka million ta ke samba wolbe fota mun tole Sadio Barrow la to katu ko munum reporting Mengbe Kering commission of inquiries me yalon ko Yaya Jammeh wolelo andu Yaya Jammeh nyullon na koyta na ko ninga commission of inquiries lo wo wato le mbe nyilta la ngi do jorantinya katu ko munum Yaya Jammeh nyapita nyinul kana me samba commission to follow asa nola ye tunya pin kamoto woto ayela dulalu tebulu katuko amu dictator bari yaya jamme mu molete me yalon ko hani atara tole long bari tole nyamin dingol fanamba kotole min yalon ko wolle ka ma ko nyinka mala kala kuolta ke nyinyandin tolu nyale koto yaya jamme muneke ay ko be tamandi ni luwalela ay commission of inquiries londe ay jojol sambana ay algali sambana kay sije and wo commission of inquiries ngamira jumal long government loyalty ngamira wodon fatu mum ben suda nyonte bi wolle ni yaya jamme continue ta kuriya ko la fombe bi min kon bari min ye wokku o fenke do wolom nyente ko lefta min tanda la nyente wolom nyente ko ni loya Usainu Dabo la kata jam ay mune fonni nga kabiri ngani nga ko molu jakaltale APRC ye nyintilimbali ya min beke ye molu fa ye molu buti APRC was not even a political party APRC mu mafia government bandi movement no mi alon ko drug gang no drug fenko lom mafia organization no APRC andun to nga jiko so non ko nene kanyum fo mo ko ni yaya jammete APRC be burkala bari APRC be burkala nyami lafta ka mo hakilo bulande wala ye hakilo tuwata nyin kamala mol min yalon ko be palaso to santo mol min yalon ko bi ntoli ye keloke mote keri mi yalon ko manda bula nyin kelol to sutatili nga nyaajale ke janne nga ko be ke jam sanji jel mol be sirin sate bantale man seyno la suwol kon kodo be mol buli tata kum falto mon do mol sanno mol min yalon ko be do ko ne ka do ko ke falo nin jor wato sita lungo min na wolun ne niyo ka kuya kote bari nin jor wato man si ka taraji kirin ne ko to mando bi je nin karo fatan se nyinke nganyinke ba dole bi je ni tata foye la salary le receive follow ya de kamune e katale dende sirin kan nin ko ne dulal jibe mota dami ye la kodo jibe ya konti e me ya konti na e ka konti le konti follow ya mira foye nyinata ya muru ya konti kote ya mira foye nyinata na mete tenjibe ni mamoje bulo dato ye wuri ye kumbo isi soko katu ko munam ay yin karo min be do ko ye jelde diala ye kemelu le dia ay do ko ke tilim anin woro abe do ko anu yentili mo ni woro to aka do ko dati talan seyle aka da do ko ban talan nan wato do aka overtime do ko dami yalon ko aka da fo talan lulu tala woro ibe do ko le be nyama ko le be ku kota mon nin karo fata ye kemelul cika ya dila nin karo fata ye dandan dila laba wala ni tate den de excessi ye kumbo muna en sabunte ngani do ko min beke muna nan kan so ballo ya Usainu Dabo ya fanya konye ko itente ku kala ko mi ya non ko wala kene katuko kabiri ye PPP bani lota janne ko ya jamme man right so ka any political party bani in the Gambia bari ya jamme muneke ay decree leta ye use ka political party ta ke ban bari doko min be nyaso la mandin ko nyala falaya bu ko doko nyinji so nyine ya sabu Usainu Dabo min fo wolom nyinte ko itolte APRC fano la bari ntolo Gambia ko lese APRC fano bari be APRC fala no nyaade ngo alna mfonyo nyino mi yalon ko radio station on lebe Gambia ni radio station on mi yalon ko be Gambia and they are journalists wallahi they should do better than this yaya jamera watu la nga understand katuko wo watu la kube kuto ni okay be la radio soron na le bete fa mutala ni meke kuy kalosa tuje ando mambo forse no watu pour yata ye la do ko ke ko nyanda kala nyami ban sai to malami na ko tambita banko e do ko le soto anyanta min kala banko dingol ye do ko le soto inyanta min kala andu wodo ko le femba bi munamu wo mu journalist on la do ko te sa ko min ya lon ko ke famolo ko mandi journalist on nyine asabu we have lot of ceremonial journalists in the Gambia na diata watu minna e ko to mu journalist on ti saje fenke bale baji bale na ja ibe kidila katu ko Barrow de reception ko mandi isaje jolo bale bude kawla ibe kidila katu ko inauguration be kere wala government fenne be kere wala workshop on le be kere. The workshops are no longer workshops but they are workshops. Mon kata mun la workshop dulal wala mu yata hotel olto ye domoro ke foy kono e fayte fem folaji nin se wato cité brown envelope dila dami yalon ko kodin dimbe talla jere buto way ke la credit somonti anin tika journalists all mini yalon ko be Gambia radio station all mini yalon ko be Gambia they have a work to do. What should be their job wala mu nyenti ko How many victims we have in Gambia for the, in the past 22 years? Victim or many alonko yaya jamme moni min kasara, yaya jamme moni min bute, yaya jamme moni min taye yemande, yaya jamme moni min taye la fengo table, yaya jamme moni min alonko aye taye nakara aye koto dete. Nko ko radio they have a very role to play. Kabiri radio Gambia no bambari nyimfa nyanta dati la radio Gambia because kabiri yaya jamme nata no wato in 1994 private radio romancia. But all the propaganda against the PPP, abeketa Radio Gambia le kato atara GRTS TV fangoman na follow. But be Radio Gambia as a radio ekamunek ala afoni. Wo radio station no mansakunda nyanta wo reform la ya fali ya revamp to the scratch. Kato ko ni wonte ka kodo mindi ka fuaro le bali e kan na kodo di wo radio la radio mi ya lonka man na faso to Gambia ni ngoli. Ali matonya. Radio Gambia nafale posi yaya jamme. Because Radio Gambia should play a very important role. What I'm going to call, despite the fact that it left a more unified. But it's more unified no that when the culprits are laughing at the victims. Impossible. How can you unify those people? So nyanta wala lon na nyofe. What I'm going to call, journalists or mini alonko ibe Gambia namfonyo kake politician old. Adama Barrow manyinke, Adama Barrow nyinneke, ite moneke as a journalist. Victim or haine be kumbola. Ila culprit or haine benso kone be yayin. What is your role as a journalist? Ko victim or mi alonka be kumbola. Kala kumbo fintendi na banda. Nyin kamala mi ya kumbonde. Asa along ko nga nyinne kumbonde. Nyinne be APRC tela. Nyindoro na be APRC tela. Being a GRTS sort of, we have all the necessary tools. Kajeko ka APRC buruka Gambia Bangkokang. Kansa me alonka be na Gambia Bangkokang. A kansa e buruka anelete momuta la kote. But ninga nyaka si wala la ko nkombe tulajele. Wallahi, these are cancers. Andung imefonyo ibinaka ngalo na ko inelete that to the throne. But if munekela wala mnyintiko, wati ninga kaira kuwali soto, itelibe talajele ka o kairo take sabote, ka o kairo take bundin kidola, bari mbenga alona ko alkali jawo na akata alkali kototi, abuka sate la kairo dua, ning alkalo min setanoto. So, na mansakunda, men kan na faile, nyamu kan na faile tide. Yalo moni nyanta kuwali bola nyotole, mimu criticism ti and mimu constructive criticism ti and mimu criticism ti for the sake of criticism. Ngo wulu dingo jumale kano dinkata minta mbita hadama dingo na wulu dingo fawo fa akala fa wulu dingo bawo ba akala fa wulu dingo but niye wulu dingo tuje ya mutulo le ko ita tonya fulai. This is constructive criticism. Iko katuko ninga fa ya be kelatene what's gonna happen. You can contribute a downfall to it. So more mini alonko ko bebe kere mansakunda. Nintol ko be o mansakunda la hakilo bulanda katu ko muna. Alanga nyo hakilo bulanda do mondimba. Ntolo lota janne kuta kere mankelo minke make Adama Barrow nga ke mfangol le katu ko nga jele ko Adama Barrow lo moti momi alonko wole sutiata pour nyinka mala fale mo sekeno Gambia. Bari fale mo tekeno la Gambia ni atara momi yalonko wala mu nyaton ko te nyim fale mo la jamata no kabiri lota nga modi jibe kafo fintita na jibe rol ni na korsirol to nga jere ko Adama Barrow de din kafo fintita kafo mi yalonko warta so nyine asabu ndolma nde kundi ngo pamudu mnene ma Adama Barrow mo maje nene ma Adama Barrow long na manke luma minne Adama Barrow select as the UDP flag bearer wolun nentenga Adama Barrow long so ndete lola no tubabu du nko Adama Barrow ifengo fenke is perfect. Adama Barrow la mansakunda ifengo fenke is perfect. So hani ataranga nga sotaro soto jele miya nonko tumando biji na o sotaro nse Adama Barrow hakilo bulandino la nala mansakunda momo be dawoda tumando biji kuwali ketale ntolu ngeje bari itoli meje wala ntolu mamuta minti itoli mamuta woti so eba jela ko Gambia ntolu bele denta Gambia la President be santo le president nala mol mini yalon ko be santo wol man fisial tol tatul mini yalon ko albe duma atul fana mimbe duma atul te fisiano la won donte mini be santo so santo nin duma le kanyo samba duman kolle ka santon kolu kumayande bari santon kol la taroje wala fananka duman kolu samba nyenne be kere dunia ko so nyenne asabu kabilin sitan ko Adama Barrow tonya mobu ka murodu ifan kono ye fan kono wura ninga nyim foko mobu ka murodu ifan kono ye fan faro but I have a problem with that more mini alonko they have no other issue wala mnyende ko kasidoron ka Gambia watu tulbe pare because itule nyinde muta journalism diko Gambia la bad news is good journalism. Gambia la bad news is professional journalism. Gambia la bad news is impartiality, is accuracy, and then is what we call journalism. No, ngo tubabo ni bijanne ni journalists dole bijanne molke yalle dada. We can criticize the politicians when they do wrong. We can criticize constructively when we think ninga mire be binna. I mantara ke kunsa wokenore wala munna do quote bari manya na talla jeng na ke politician ode atara do ko be fare bulu ndole journalist ode do ko min bento do bulu fa wote Adama Barrow bulu how many victims and ndole we are public service providers ndole mo the public service providers bi ni na taji be misali fe bi mam fangol mu futande woto de bari nka example do le fale abe kere ndole do ko kumayata le journalist o na ya la do ko ke anyama ko anyanta kala nyamin ko ya landa kan nyamin wo journalist o be do ko ke kan ko min malaiko bayde ni na raji be journalist o la do ko monete wolon ka kibaro bondi janka sambajana and journalist o la do ko minti wolon nyinti ko mol min yalon ko be duma ay wo mol la right fight nyin kamala akana sila man sakunda la samdo min yalon ka wo mol suppress nyin na mun na do ko bari bi misali fe radio Gambia biji abebe farin jumale la mol min yalon ko wolle ka yaya jamme promote non kunu mol min yalon ko wolle ka fanya yaya jamme mu alalti kunu mol min yalon ko wolle ka yaya jamme kumande nim babili mansala kunu bi wolle be farin ton la GRTS bi njol ngamira wolle murun le APRC calendar te kel bari GRTS man falin mujumale falinda GRTS wala mu director ye Malik Jones le bondi ye Ibrahima Silla bondi sendina bari fengo fe ya lon koy bebe no tole andu bandio mbe GRTS wota dulato hame ngale ko GRTS start la keta trial media fo ya jamme e kam molu muta mol bin ya lon koy man fenke GRTS le ka wolu tumi GRTS le ka wolu sonde molu nyaati no mune asabu yaya ka kamera samba NIA kata modu bute nyinka mala modi e confess kamera nyatinu because yaya ya lonne ko sebo be molle bulu kube kuto aka wokela nyinka mala ka modu sonde ka modu landi ko tonya de yaya minfo ay wole ke ni atara yaya ya from mutaminta ka famu fonto le kate mu mint ni atara yaya munu woti munana yaya bala action or justify lantulia on the media he doesn't need it. But ate ya from mutaminta ate fonga ya lunne deep down a manke what ate ya lunne ko molle ya ke nyindulato molle ba bondla nyindulato so ala wo kalabande ya nala wo tajirande ya nala wo da kalaba manya nyete sa wati na ko ka kana ka muruna to ka fonga justify aka almamul use ka fo ka talia fo ko islam le ya fo bala bu ka christian ol use no wole na ya fo nye jesus fa nyinde so nyene ya sabu nyanda dula jamale mala de nyanda dula jamale kiskisila nyene ya sabu nko ni atara commission of inquiries Adama Barrow because kabiri nyimman sakunda na tan dolla top priority mu munete nko yaya jamme kabiri anata e monde kitinde yaya jamme monde min kitinde ate ba man futu wonti yaya jamme monde min kitinde won man kuriyata yaya jamme kuriyata le ko mbe mune fala bali nyimman sakunda kabiri nata obviously ya kato dankele kato ka yaya jamme fama damma bondiji wo mun number 1 success net bari manna nyenna pour kaje ko kanyaton ko bondi wala kanyaton ko fadin hani alaji be all the departments e kanyaton ko bondi bar mo min be wodo ko wala je keba mar min yalon ko bije e buka wala kiskis fay buka jibe hani be bi min kono be bi min kono ndolla man sakunda fama malon yaya jamme tamu fenjellete wo bankoka nyinne ya sabu molu kata e ka yaya jamme da fengol mutay ke wafi ye minul muta sai wolle wanyata ko ye muta munilla e ko ye charge ni si sunyan momi yalan ko nyante charge la for treason because Yaya Jammeh minke, but eko ya wolmo nisi sunyala te ni me hakilo to wolf on they gonna be free. So alga nyo hakilo bulandi ngatonya fo nyoy min nyanta kala. I'm calling on Adama Barrow because Adama Barrow will lead it. I don't want to call on any of the ministers. Adama Barrow will lead it. Gambian call kumbo tale nyaji yolu jata, nyaji yolu sulenda, nyaji yolu jata, nyaji yolu sulenda, nyaji yolu jata. Commission of Inquiries is long overdue. Amanya na kela Truth and Reconciliation of Fountainali and Tajininka. Anyanda kela proper Commission of Inquiries. Rinko, Yaya Jammeh Nintajilante Yamin Beke, Yaya Jammeh Nakolo Mimbe Muta Tanna Bankoto. Namada Science, Mayor Bota Waterfall, Namada Science, Minister of Finance, Waterfall, Yaya Jammeh na Central Bank Loot La Ya Bank. Muna Yaya Jammeh da Masa will loot nova, ni Yaya Jammeh Konileko, and Willie Keme Dine, Willie Keme, Willie Tanni Lulubon. Is that not corruption? So alika loja alika wa Yaya Jammeh ha wouldn't problem oti but Gambian coal manke problem oti. For the past 22 years, Gambians have been problems. Gambian coal like a Gambian coal fa, Gambian coal like a Murika, Gambian coal bade. Nanyo fang nanyo bade, nanyo fang nanyo domo tilikunte hane malutije, nanyo domo manyo tabi. Nyendom problem oti. Jende ya sabu ST ko alijimbo dinkaji. But ntalika nyo domole mbuka jimbo kaji, mbuka ko kaji, mbuka kano kaji, nka nyodo mo jumale, nka nyodo mo wajele femade, wo fallo mbalo memu Yaya Jammeh. Alina hakilul. Nin Commission of Inquiries lota BBBBB. Yaya Jammeh la minister ya samana commissioner. Abe keri nyami abe foda wala nyam. Imagine Sadio Barrow be Gambia ba wata. Ntebi jamba wata. Do fanambe jana ba wata. Jumale betula mankoto. Wato lemba lonna ko tonya. Nyunile kamo mimbe da PPP kan. Yara fa nyunile nota katambi PPP. Yara fa nyunile wakala PPP kan. Inyabo da PPP fele jalostale nata PPP ya domo nungo mintuje kabiri fotote moneke obe talale. Gamla bilen kamo ya Jammeh ni billion wanta. Bari Yaya Jammeh kabira na follow min betara keso kono sitale ya betala wota dulal fangoy damali sonkata jede binanyo fala wota Yaya Jammeh promiso min di militaire la ko ali ba koy ngani ko ke nin soksita nala military council nin soksita be nyinne dile kabiri sita wo patati fedu kono kabiri sita wo sise kil badi kono i sita wo subu wutu badi tata i haboli wono i nyanata ko man kolla nko nyinne ya sabu 11 kata. So jaro bebe kontanin 22nd of July le coup d'etat. July, August, September, October, November militaire lo bota nyokoto iko fo Yaya Jammeh sa bondije anala kansulo mol. Wakata mobe nyala Jammeh mune asabu wakata ka tuko Yaya Jammeh ni jambenta minna Yaya Jammeh nata muruna ya bedom abuko nin seli ko jobi e nangandi won la nyoka. Ye di won la nyoka kabirin din talawato sita jobi ma di wonje seli mo yake mun ton. Yaya Jammeh mu seli molete. So Yaya Jammeh Adama Barrow nyanta mako la without delay Commission of Inquiry selan. Andum panambe Adama hakilo bulan lakote. Badi. This is my role as a journalist. Andum I will continue to do my role mbe continue lale kanna journalist yake without fear or favor. Manta silala manta favor nyinela dulato katuko ndebe siri njanne andum ndema fo moy mbedo ko nyenela. Bari fanam mbe mim foka wolom nyenti ko nyemun na man sakundale. Ni Adama Barrow failed and dolle failed. B. Katuko ni Adama Barrow failed and mune bekela. APRC ko be lola le be jumal le jelela iben dolle jelela. Aja Adama da ma jelela. Iba fula atul mini alun kala dia musia be kering. Atul mini alun kala beteng ngamune fali. Anu akokolia ba kenet nimmo ko ngamune foye. Comme bin dolle min foka APRC ko ni. Nkoy ka nala o tika nkoy ka nala o sanya wulindol nkoy ka nala o kibirol nkoy ka nala o bantalalu la bantoro ma faale Yaya Jammeh mo monte mona ma Yaya Jammeh man kuto faale bial ma lo akuntu bari bi ka bo ha minister da mali na ta konye ko gamtel nyinne kata jang minister le na ta ko ha nyinne kata jana Yaya Jammeh nko Yaya Jammeh mo bandioti kalabante ti nyawonya ay loi l'etat ka kulu tamante. Commission of Inquiries wala nyanta lola every department in the Gambia ya beta ye inquiries ke ya be kisi dawo da tundu jelle mankita je Gambian ko nyanta nyillon nale from the media not from the mouth of the minister ali nga tonya fo ñoy Gambia ko nyanta nyim moy la Sadio Barrow le dato Gambia ko nyanta nyim moy la radio Gambia le Gambia ko nyanta nyim moy la online radio to le Gambia ko nyanta nyim moy le la banta balu to le ko bide a agriculture wonle be commission to bi bari yara fay ko kare nin kare woni ya nyinni nyinne bari kare nin kare yitata nyinne to katu mingo min keta be de kede fengo fen keta abebe folay andu abebe modu bul bari ko ha may fati ko nyinni tata Adama Barrow ko fenke atodum Minister of Justice fananko nyinni tata okay so until damale si mbe new fala wande nganyato yaya ni nyinne tata but there is no proper mechanism kaje ko commission of inquiries be lola nyadile nganyim molu tangi busu nyami yalon ko nse busu no bani nyinu nyanta busu dale nyinu ala hekato do badi ngolo okay bani nyinu nyanta busu dale nyim busu no nyanta seneyala so nimbota woto wala mnyinti ko Jawara la man sakunda ngawjele. We don't want to go there. Nko dunia fao fa ka hame nyindela idingo ay baraketati. Bari hani idingo man baraketati misal fe dunia soto. Fao fa ka la fi nyindela idingo soto ke katambitele. Fao fa ka la fi nyindela idingo ifuta makamu to itama mfuta dami katu fala dua momenti nala dua le jabita wala munyinti ko. Ning ate fa tata fa batata wato min na nyindingo wole bina ka te bondi batakono ka loye ka mota nyinno mu fala duwati ni ala duwali jabita nyanta kala wala nyam Jawara minke mobe ya jele nko aya kata Jawara is the poorest president in Africa so ni aje Gambia la president Gambia molu be nyame bari bi Gambia femba biji mbeka fo dembe nyinke kam mansale me so dembe nyinke kan ala nala kilale wala banko kano len dunyina ala nala kilale dunyina but deep down ni na the majority of Gambians be me ko ku kelan ka kemunella na balu nyaala nka balu nyaale nyini je balu nyaanyi malu nyinka malanse balu no ka to ko munum korelle kataram ko so nyenne asabu Jawara la man sakunda minke ye biwokele itoli ye la kato dankele foundation otale yado ya jambe nata sanyi mo anin nani sanyi mo anin fula man sakunda man ta abla ni atara treno lo sanyi mo anin fulo treno be lo rin stopo minto treno tutalori wo stopo to fola ba wala nyamulu falinta koto fo nyamulu tate lafta o treno nyin kovala wala nimbo so lo nyamulu falinta fo lafta boso nyin kovala so ni atara nata was system of bondi je mi alon ko was 22 years ago nata murunga yaya jambe bondi je nkana so new system nga Jawara la system o sambana because Jawara la watu la nga tonya fo muneka fo iko is not what you know is who you know not what you know who you know wala mnyende ko ya londo min so la londo buka do ko dila hani atara la londo nyanta wodo banko sambala nyaata bari la muneka do ko dila mbari be nyindula karle nkoto mala be nyindula kare nkoto ma nyinne kan nkoto ma nyini hando mala ke malo nyindi do ko ka soto tan Gambia Adama Barrow kabiri anata wole fo do fo nyako Gambia tammita wona le sain pour mo ka do ko soto ka to ko ngakarle lo wole ya sa nga do ko soto do ko be dila based on competence do ko nyanda ka jiwonya bari binga muneka la muta hey nko nga mimbe lo ninga fo dunia be ninga mimbe fo ninga fo wallahi Gambia me basol ko la so wala jalol ko be lo yedi le wari be fo medi ngo dina dun kero ala dabo de politiko jalol ala dabo de politiko problème min be tata be Gambia right now nyin lobby min be kering dina dun kelo lo nyin lobby min be kering jalol lo banko jali balu ngo anna nga Adama Barrow mako nga Gambia dada ni billa feta do ko da Gambia tay PMO bi jele application on safe ite qualification on minga ko application on bala ye experience minga ko application on bala ya ki wodla to bele denta Gambia la cake ba min bela rinji bela cake lo bele nyanta do mala bari mbebe o cake do mala nyaadile wala nyindi ko ni tela feta cake kyamole do mala walebe londo le soto la katarawo ke kyama bedame bari bi mol ka muneke mol ka mabo banko jale bali ko ka foy ko makoy bayri ngajele ni adama diatale du kala makoy fonsa do ko sota te kala ni nga keta watu wate mba expose la banko jali ba keta femo fenti al nga to nyafo nyoyde Gambia mbota sanji mo anim fulala kono batata Gambia mbota sanji mo anim fula mbota nakaro kono Gambia sanji mo anim fula Gambia nkori be dibolo kono sanji mo anim fula badi ngol ite badi ngo jumalti wala ka do ko kelo wodla a police kundate a military kundate adula kunda ko fana wonte bari bi mu be kere modo kata ka mabo modo ko ma koy do ko la ngini adama jele ye nyinne ke yaya jamme la ya do mo ya bayi biri ye yaya jamme bayi ye nata muri ye yaya jamme fama yele mandi ya kembulu mo do mo dat katu ko munam mol min bije ha ngini yaya jamme jele hani minni yaya jamme netal wose finta se modu kamo modu site sebola ya dukare ma koy dukore ndiwo haynan kabiri ngajita karamboto amando ko soto dukare ma koy molda marbe nyodundila dula to tare mediocrity wala nyinti ko mol min yalon koy mal londo lu soto mol min yalon koy be dinkral min to ma faham mol min yalon ko misal fe ni e poussé sambanan iko wayta si wala be check wala be safero kelete nyin kamara ka physical plan duro muna buse ni physical plan duro nyoso to munen ye development woka sambana iko hambatu nga samba katu ka ne wala diata mbatu nga samba youth and sports atakela Gambia belongs to all of us unless we don't hear it alnga to nyafo nyoy Gambia mun tolbe tata alnga Adama Barrow makoy alnga nyaton kolu makoy alin kanatan ka nyaton kolu korop ngoy ko ni corruption on Mengbe Kering kabirin first republic for second republic fondunda nyim third republic o min kono wallahi na nyaton ko dum tolle ke makoy pour ye corruption o ntolle ka sabu ka corruption o ntolle ke pousse corruption o ka bari ntol fangola mankutol mu corruption o lati corruption o ketan tuliya ado lati ado mi alon ko sa keta ya kunyi malati momin corrupta wala mu dinken doti momi alon ka tilinta wala mu din furi mata momin corrupta wala hamoso momi alon ka tilinta wo mu hamenta wala nyinne ben toliya alima to nya fonyo nko commission we do Sallah Barrow mo kota ngodo ye APRC ko lu sambana mo moy kuo kuma abebo dibo kono nga fo modi nite mu buati kamo domo reke mba fo ko nyimu buati de atele kare dom nite mu buati e wandi de nano le domo mba fo nyimu buati de atele kare la de nano dom nyindoro ne be bondila nyindoro ne be Gambia bondila nyindoro ne be unite la nyinne be APRC fala kansa mi alon ka be na banko kan APRC mu kansa la ta mo le fa Gambia Mengbe Kering nga fo wala nyam bari nga dati no wala nyama andon fanan be continue ka fo wala nyam Mengbe Kering ndol bi janne kafo ala la man sabaya to be continue la kafo bari fanan kudo bi je mi alon ka yam fadin fon ko ala nga to nya fo nyoy ala nga nyo fale kudu tento bula Gambia belongs to all of us iko Bakari Njai former director of Gamtel wala mu Gamtel la financial advisor or whatsoever advisor Bakari Njai badi mo ala nga nyo hakiro bulan ala nga mira wato le tambita Gamtel e tinyaro minke Gambia banko kan jumale go kala onda Bakari Njai ala nga to nyaf bari nina rajibi Alcatel over $84 million e minchika ya di Gambia nyinka mala pour ka free loan ka Gamtel ta ka londe wala mu Gamtel la o fenke folot ka Gamtel londe free loan mi alon ko joreti nyinka mala ye stafford training ye joramol sang ye Gamtel samba to a bigger capacity woko na to ya kalamutal wo wato la Gamtel mol bita France training na wato bajo le kata France training na jumala ko samba training na part of Alcatel loan free loan from Alcatel Gamtel mol bita Angleterre karamonna mol bita India karamonna mol bita Arab du karamonna pour telecommunication isa mune natake kodo siata katu koy kodo mindila siata Bakari Njai muneke ay Gamtel overstaff mune Gamtel overstaff momo ibina Bakari Njai pirankoluna farabankoluna kiyankoluna jarankoluna banjunun kolu ko hani bilkaman kolu ka eben tolle ya foi sen dingol ta do ko gamtel be keta mot labo ngala alaji be misal fe yenna kodo muta ya be furtu farta yenna kodo muta ya be domo dianyo kono alaji be do nga wati le faale fo nyunu le yalon koy tolle ba futu tan to lo balti ba nyunu ni tata dawoda nyunu le monsono do nyunu le dingol samba tubabu do nyunu le kuwol ke nyunu lo mu kinti nyunu le sima buka bankoro ma Gambia bankoka wotili mbali ya be keta modi nyabala corruption o sembo wata modi nyabala iko bi o bakari njay ye wole sambana ya murundi dindi wol be kere min ya lon koy karanta dindi wol lon they have a long time to be at that position ka do ko alanga tonya fo nyoy jumal la ka vetinke jumal la ka taro ke Gambia mo ibe modu tala mod min ya lon koy man qualify ni nga fatu kamara taf nga modo taf muna inante bakari njay tafo alanga tonya fo Gambia lo da tonya la Gambia bita tonya lo kon Adama sanya ko ma farama mula farama ko la ta manna gamtel ko gala mbagari ko da farama ha ko be gamtel so da farama mula la no Gambia no ngoy ko commission ya jamela aligali commission over 7 million bakare njay mi yalon ko commission ya muta wala yala kordali si sabulu Gambia so imagine bakare njay ya syndicate modo la kordali bije so sai bakare njay mo gamte la wondar wo fango wo ko compromise le bakare njay fo be kordali sendi dala fo kiskisilo be kala na 7 million minta ay adundi kolto ngo ñin la kay dingol sambatu wabudu ñin la ka bunyi malu do ñin la ka musu ñi mali futu ñin la ka moto ñi mali boronde ñin lon dinkel do to Gambia bankoka ñin ya sabun ko mon min yalon ko corrupta wollo mo kendo luti mon min yalon ko keda do ko boy dansen dole wollo molti min yalon ko wollo mo jawallati wolle sitale wollo man hamo soto wollo man pare do ko wala ñin be keri Gambia bankoka ngo Gambia tiñaro min biya buka fo alngaji be nawek alngaji be gamtel jam misal fe jam nin ibine la telephone line o fix le luma min mo kilin ne kana nin moto wala mu drive foti wala mu technician not akili yana ay moto boron na jila bun kono ay jila bun dato ayela telephone o be fix file pare ay bulala moto kono ayta bari Gambia wallahi ni bine la telefono fango install la lunga minna na do yata mo woro wula le kana wo mo woro wulo min be kana kilin non do kulati wo woro lo ina fale amunde tele katana seri ne ko min birkama area kan sur katanu nyami hani kera lun dawonte ina de ka sije baake ni nyaada tela ni jor wato site senyine yijo e ka molu jo mol mi yalon ko e man tana do ko la kansul e man payslip so bari to fa mo bije mi yalon ko e man kura mo fa mo soto ne la dulaluto ñin lo ko wolte mi yalon ko be kede non toliya ñin non ko wolte mi yalon ko be kede non toliya ngoy ko e nawek ni wala fana lunga min ne mi na polo sambala lano sambaleya nawek le fa mo jawyat mo tanni lulu kanale mi yalon ko wonbe mo technician on drive for bije fili sabalale bije andu nyimmo tan ni lulol be kamun dokude bari ni tata office lumo minna ibe bula moto bakono iko kata installation ni na rawo installation le kamune fananke imbenna bankola kodo be taka nyawonya isemuru ka foy ko ha ni lafta ku etaria ibe nyinne dilanna bari ntolo mo jamale ben non nyinne be Gambia so nyinne nyanta bola Gambia alnga to nyafo nyoy lobby nyanta bannale ino ka fo kare mun terleti ka fo kare nyon bi janne nakke balu do woni nyanta bannale Gambia nyanta munekela Gambia nyanta banku dolle jibele katama nyame nganyim misra hal bondin tema kare mun baadi ngonte ngo bondi je kare mun signol te ngo bondi je kare mun bitanne te ngo bondi je balal no competence jibe nga lonko nyinne ben tolla banko sabala non koy control wi a famo behind ndol be koma bakel mbe koma bakel so Wakamara dron badi ngono Sadio Barrow se APRC fanu le kai PPP fa nyami APRC ye wala je abesilo kanna nyine asabu lafta Sadio Barrow damage la bari ntolo ko hey mba wulenke nta kela we are in solidarity with Sadio Barrow wati betalla komale wati betalla guide kanne andu namo itafana bafala e hakilo tude i jawli siyata lembe nyintembo mindu mol min yalon ko ye kanu dandula tal bari jawol fanan siyata lembe nyintembo mindu so kana tani nyinsila dola nyinne be kelantor la do ko bayin todi kontonu musewra selleti ntolu mo kankula njambanta wonlete muna ina jojo man kila ka fo pamodu boje ka kitio preamble ando mol kala mo le Gambia bari ntolu mo sewra selti ntolu mo kankula njambanta wonlete ntolu mo wol faale as far as ngalo ne ko do ko le be kere andu ngalo ko Sadio Barrow fana mo kankula njambanta wonte Sadio Barrow mo buka bondi Sadio Barrow metala do ko dale andum ado wole kekan andum a yekkale ko mota de ndino la be nyintembo men andu Sadio Barrow we are with you mote deindi noda andu moma nyanne deila Gambia tambitale modu ka modu deindi yaya jamme deindi le sanyi mo ani fula mobe deindi mobu ka sondi amana mobu ka hanyi di amana bari mod min yalon koy be deindi kunum ikaboja ikabo diaspora jam ikata do ko nyine Gambia ni tata wodo ko nyine la Gambia mando ko sote murunna ni wato minna ni struggle solo wolte ni wuli nyona ba ni lolu ya moyle ko bi de struggle kiline problem o soto woli telka wole tay e ka celebrate so momi ya ko ako ndate ya jammeto ndate struggle to nte ya jamme against la bari nte ya jamme fanan nta support la ni wonata je ko momi ka ya jamme against wo problem o soto wo mari nata wala wo problem o ta ka kidimande ka katila sewo kote wala wo mari mo moja balati so nyine ya sabu ko alkana min yaron ko tate identita banko jani bari koma nyin kamale ko wole ko altende Adama Barrow ka nyomwe alim mako ngake do ku dalti le dulalo to mba fo e ka bu ko nyamade niata tulbe Angleterre walla be America walla be dawoda tubabu do altol lata lado alla karamalale alla ta kale min karanga koyta allale altali application on safe ali do ko woni bari fanan alna Gambia di ngol jibe fana min yalon ko ilota Gambia e nyin sanyi mo anen fulobe kon wonnene man Gambia bitre bari molju male Gambia bitre wala mi yalon ko hani tilikili ngako yaya jamme akata bari mol bi jande min yalon ko iko ya wonnene ma fo yaya jamme akata kat ko yaya jamme nene ma akata so ben kanna fayla fana protocol ma mimbe barola office anin ben kanna fayla amibo jam fana na mi yalon ka be barola office ko ye nyimmodu sute ni nata ni nyimmol se difference o soto nyawonya e kana ke bantam bilote pour nyimmol ka ni baro kana nyoti baro la fitala ni Gambia din kendo be nyoti baro mo kendo leti mo kendo ni mo kendo le kata bari ngalo ne bi baro be dami man sakeno president wono nim baro lafita ka modoje bari modu min ba bala min ka ko facilité wol mal lafi wol nim baro nyoje wol nim baro ta nyoje le non so alnga ko tuje atul min yalon kalbe baro dala bi kunu nyindon e min kalma wolke muna na modu be boda dai bita Gambia atul ko modu nim baro ta nyoje la aman ke fente falla selfish interest na be karamuta lembe sedin tubabu duja yes na be karamuta lembe sedin tubabu duja bari wakamara don baadi ngono ngali tentu ngali jayi watu fela sita komi nga fale nyame raji do ko ate mu watu lati mbalu tentu la mbali jayi la labor kunyi mato analla jibe roluto bari sala kilo bulande fanan ko ning ala sonta sibitu dum be tallale janne nyin kamala kanyin kumo kanyin dulata ka fanundi corruption o sembo wata be je fanundi la bakele alna Adama Barrow makoy Gambia alna na corruption o tangi suwalo ngo ni la fita bele ka fuwa bele la wayi alin kana la fa bele wayi alna Gambia tangan dingol jibe minul bina minul man dingo soto nyinna moy la diwati lumbe sila lebe musol soto lebe dingol soto lan lumbe sila lebe kel soto lebe dingol soto lan so alin kana Gambia fure bi ngabam ninga Gambia fure bi ngabam so man betula munne tula dingol yeje nin tolla alfaali man fentun to yeja tonnun te bitar la nunje walla ni nga fero ke ngan to fa nga fentu bi mi yalon ko soman na alfal batara je jerejef suma bagen suma bagen nde mbergan jerejef you know so nyina mu kullate mi yalon ko inyante ikumayata andu Gambia di ngobe nyanta nyuso danko changes falingo nene nga foja nenko falingo te keno la falingo te nimbanko molu malla fika falingo falingo fe falin kunda nyim kumayata wala Mengbe Kering nga fo nyama la baraka